around a little bit, dig around the interface and take a look at the interface. And it's a very small group, deliberately so. So that way I will answer every single question that is asked. I see Adam, CC, Derek, Haj. Is that Igioma? I hope I pronounced that right. I probably didn't. Mustafa, how are you? Let's see, I'm looking in the chat here and I see the good doctor. Salute to you, sir, says Derek. Good to see you. Yeah, so basically, these sessions, these Black Wealth Conversations are hosted in the Black Business School, and it's a chance for you guys to ask me questions, and we could talk about whatever you want to talk about. Salute to Ryan McCrary. Absolutely. Ryan McCrary is a great guy. He's out of Philadelphia, and I respect him a lot. And you know, you talk bad about Ryan, you're talking bad about me. You know, I like what Ryan stands for, and I believe that he's a solid human being, and that ain't gonna change for nobody. Let's see. So one thing I wanted to let you guys know for sure is I mentioned to you guys on the 12th, on April 12th, we're doing a 24-hour flash sale where you can get into Black Money 101 for 70% off. That's 70% off in Black Money 101. And actually, since you guys came in tonight, I will actually give you advanced access. We're only going to let in 100 people. And so if you want to use it now, you can go to blackmoney101.com and the code is 70 off podcast, 70 off podcast. That's one word. It's all typed in as one word. So when you go to blackmoney101.com and you type in 70 off podcast, that's all is one word, you'll get 70% off immediately. And what I'll do is I'll kind of show you guys a quick screenshot of what that looks like and what this program is. It's a great program. We're very proud of it. It's the first course in our Black Money sequence in the Black Business School. We give you a sequence 101 through 106. And if you go through all 6 of the programs, you won't just be financially literate. You'll be a financial or an economic soldier. I mean, you'll literally be in the 1% in terms of what you know as far as knowledge. And then the next step would just be being in the 1% in terms of your actual wealth creation, which takes time, but you'll have the whole accumulation process down. So here's sort of an overview of what's included in Black Money 101. You get, once you're done with all the curriculum and go through all the material, you actually get a certificate from the Black Business School. So we have the standard curricula, and then we have the bonus curricula. And if anything, if I was going to criticize myself for anything for this program, it would be that I maybe provided just so much stuff. There's so much stuff, you know, but I really want you to make sure that you're comfortable when you get out of here. And so here, you know, you go through the videos one by one. Here's one, what every Black person needs to know about money. What is asset allocation, how to open your first investment account, the basics of wealth building, a PowerPoint presentation here, 3 things rich people do that other people do not. And then unit 2 is economics of self-defense, 7 ways to become financially fit in 10 minutes or less, the rules of economic self-defense. That's an hour-and-a-half long lecture. There's a lecture by an attorney on why LeBron is better at business than sports. These mistakes can cause you to lose all your wealth in a generation. So it talks about wealth protection. The 3rd unit is on economic prosperity tools that will change your family for generations. How to practically guarantee that your child will be a millionaire. That's the KID model, knowledge, investment, discipline that we teach on ways you can guarantee your child will be a millionaire. I just had a niece, and we already know that if she's not a millionaire, she's going to be super close by the time she's 25 years old. We've already set the trajectory. It's almost like, you know, setting a long-term wealth goal is like, you know, the people at NASA, when they try to land, you know, not an astronaut, but when they send those probes, they send a probe to a distant planet, and they do all these calculations, and they say, okay, if this probe goes, you know, 1,000 miles an hour and it travels for 8 months, then it's going to reach the planet in exactly, you know, 7 months, 12 days, and 8 hours, right? They can name that, they can pick that precisely. So wealth creation is kind of the same way. You can actually make pretty accurate predictions of where your wealth is going to be based on your investment strategy right now. There are people that are very wealthy right now because they set an investment strategy back 20, 25 years ago, and they were consistent with it. So by the way, put your questions in the Q&A section. If you have a question that you'd like to ask me, just put them in the Q&A section. I will answer every single question for everybody that's inside the webinar. Now, just going down further, the film that we created, I made a film a few years ago called The Secrets of Black Financial Intelligence. If you're in Black Money 101, you get to watch the film for free. How to start your own business, that's another lecture. Protecting your business brand. licensing your ideas, effective communication in business, how to write a winning business plan, business and social media issues, how to network your business. There's just so much stuff in here in Black Money 101. And you can just see, I mean, I haven't even really hit, half of the curricula. So you can see further down, if you use the special code 70 off podcast, the fee goes from $89 a month to $26.70 per month. That is your fee now, and that is your fee forever. So you're talking about less than $1 a day. But what that does, if you go through that curricula just for that one program alone, it's going to change your family trajectory for the next several generations. So the URL, if you want to go take advantage of the offer, it's only going to be open for 24 hours. We're going to shut the cart in 24 hours, 24 hours from midnight. So tomorrow night at midnight on the 12th, we're going to shut it all down. You can go to blackmoney101.com. The code is 70 off podcast, 70 off podcast, all one word, not 3 words, just one word. Okay, so fire away with your questions and I will answer the questions. Let's see. So Lady O says, are you familiar with Karatbar? If so, what are your thoughts on Karatbars? Do you feel it's a good investment? I've heard about Karatbars. If I'm not mistaken, I think it came up a little bit like a multi-level marketing kind of thing. And because I've had people tell me about Karatbars International, and and the thing is, I try not to be biased against situations like that. I just kind of think when stuff like that is packaged in a certain way, like it looks like I'm on the website right now, karatbars.com, and it looks like they're selling gold. There's a lot of ways you can buy gold. I mean, the opportunity, and maybe there's more to it. You could tell me more. I'm looking at this, and and a lot of times in fact, I'll share my screen. A lot of times when stuff gets weird and complicated, it means that somebody's got like some sort of weird hustle going on, that there's something happening here. And I'm not saying that it's something sinister. I'm just going to say that, I'm not real big on get rich quick situations. So if it means you're going to be invested in gold, then okay, fine, you'll be in gold. So I see small gold bars here, classic Karatbars, country Karatbars, collector Karatbars. So let's look at country Karatbar. I don't know what that means. Karatbar products. So these are Karatbar products. Let me see, what's another one? Shop. Let's click on that, see what that looks like. Let's see. Okay, select my country. What is my country? I'm in the United States, right? Is that right? I thought it was the United States of America until we got this weird president. So let's see. Here we go. Okay, so submit. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so here's a Karatbars coin. So what are these, just coins and things that you invest in that are supposed to go up in value? I mean, if that's the case, there's a lot of ways. I mean, if it's just a matter of buying gold, there's a lot of ways to buy gold, a lot of ways to be exposed to gold. You can buy ETFs that track gold. I think that the ticker symbol for a gold ETF is like GLD or something like that. Or, so there's a lot of ways to be exposed to gold besides going through some sort of, process, so I'm a fan of just straight raw investing, unless there's a tax benefit. If you're talking about something like, IRAs and 401ks and all that, you should take advantage of that, because that's how you defer your taxes. That's what rich people do. The other reason that you want to be an investor and why it benefits you to be a business owner, every Black family should have a family business, because you would be amazed at the tax write-offs that you can obtain as a business owner that you cannot get as a homeowner. I was talking to Alicia, that's the missus, well, kind of the missus, she's going to be the missus. And anyway, the woman I love, and we were talking about, and she was like, oh my gosh, Boyce, look at how much money I get to write off on my taxes from owning a home. And I was like, yeah, I think that's great, but that ain't nothing compared to the write-offs you get from owning a business. I mean, tell me, is anybody own a business? Tell me how happy you are when you see all the write-offs you get from owning a business. It's sick. And on top of that, I mean, that's why do you think Amazon paid $0 in taxes this year? $0 in federal taxes. It's because you can just write off so much stuff, as long as you're spending it on your business and everything's legit. You got to be legit. You can't be in there lying and making stuff up and evading taxes. But if you do things legit, the write-offs are extensive. The whole system's rigged in favor of the business owner. So I encourage you to be a business owner, even if your business ain't that great. Start a business with your brother and your sister, and then you can at least write off your trips to visit each other as long as you do business while you're there. Like you can write off the dinners you have together. You can write off the trips you take together. You can write off, things that you spend that you buy for your home office because you're working in that office. It doesn't mean you're doing anything illegal. I would never want you. Don't mess with do not mess with the IRS. That's not a good thing to do. But I will say that they set things up where there are processes where business owners and asset owners and investors pay lower taxes than everybody else. Now, let me see here. I thought I saw a question. Forex trading, how does it work? Forex trading, we don't teach Forex trading in the Black Business School, not yet. We've thought about it. We're debating it. The reason I'm funny about Forex trading is for the same reasons I have issues with day trading. I don't have a problem with people that do it. I don't doubt for 1 second that there are people out there that make money doing it. I'm just not a fan of it because, day trading and Forex trading to me, they unfortunately, in many cases can exemplify everything that people believe about investing, all the dirty myths that I try to demystify. So if you look at my investment class, which is theblackstockmarketprogram.com, theblackstockmarketprogram.com, you'll see the first thing I do is I debunk all the myths about investing, all the things that make you think that it's scary, you can lose all your money, bad things can happen. Well, there are types of investing where those bad things can happen, and that's one of them is day trading. I've seen people become day traders and literally have to go to Gamblers Anonymous because they'd be up 100,000 at lunchtime, and then they'd be negative 50,000 by dinner time, and I think that kind of crazy volatility, that is interesting stuff, but it deviates in my mind from the reasons I want Black folks to invest. I take chances, but I take calculated risks. And also, I'm an inherently conservative human being in the sense that I like to take the surefire pathways, to success, or the ones that I think have been proven to be most reliable. And consistent investing in a diversified portfolio and holding your assets over long periods of time, that is the method I feel comfortable teaching because I don't want a bunch of people out here that lose a crazy amount of money and then get mad at me, like, hey, Dr. Boyce, you ripped me off. You lied to me. You told me to do this and do that. Oh, no, I didn't. I told you to be conservative and be consistent. I teach Warren Buffett style investing. Warren Buffett is not a guy that you're going to see run around, promoting, Karatbars or promoting MLMs or promoting, Forex or promoting day trading. I'm not saying that it's bad. So if you're a day trader, don't get offended. Don't get a chip on your shoulder and say, oh, I'm going to go shut this guy. I'm going to go, prove this guy wrong. You ain't got to do all that. I understand all that and I respect it, but I just personally don't believe that that's the best route for people that want to actually get ahead financially. This is just my 2 cents. Okay, so let me see what else. When do you plan to marry your girlfriend? None of your damn business. All right, let's see here. I'm messing with you, Jose. Let's see. I literally get a headache when considering investing, saving, long-term goal investing. I own a business, and the write-offs are amazing. Yes, they are. You said a lot. You didn't even answer a question. You just made a comment, but I think that's great. A lot of people watching Nipsey's homecoming voice. Yeah, I'm not big on sitting and watching long funerals. I think Black people, I think that we kind of are very, very emotional people, and I think that's wonderful sometimes. But I think there are times where we get caught up in the symbolism, so people, I think, get excited about seeing celebrities and the big festival and the big, the boo-hoos and all the emotional reaction. And I'm emotional in my own way. You guys have seen me get emotional, but I'm very calculated in terms of why I'm getting emotional. I'm not going to get emotional. For example, if somebody dies, if I get emotional, I'm going to show that emotion by saying, well, let's put something in motion that's going to make our lives better. Like, let's take Nipsey Hussle's ideas, what he taught when it comes to, when it comes to investing. Let's take some Nipsey Hussle concepts and let's put them in motion in the hood. Because I bet you that 95% of the people that are sitting moaning about Nipsey Hussle ain't going to do nothing to change their life. So I think I personally am hardcore with that. I believe you're disrespecting his legacy if you don't take the time to understand what this man really represented and what he was really teaching people and try to apply some of that, so maybe I'm just being a stickler. Maybe I'm being mean, but I'm not trying to be mean. It's just true. No, I don't sit. I'm not going to sit. I didn't watch Aretha's funeral. I saw the highlights. I saw, the good parts, but I'm not going to sit and just watch. I don't have that kind of time to just sit in front of the TV all day. I'm out trying to hustle and make something happen in my life. Let's see here. What kind of Warren Buffett's books do you recommend to read? pretty much any book. I don't know any Warren Buffett books off the top of my head, but I know that he was a big student of a book by two guys, Graham and Dodd. And I think the Graham and Dodd book, what was the name of that book? It's a really like fundamental investing book. Let me see. What was that book called? Let's see. Graham, I think it's called Value Investing. Yeah, I think it's called Value Investing. That's the name of the book. Yes. Sorry. They have one called Securities Analysis. I thought they had a book called Value Investing. Why do I think they have a book called Value Investing? Let me see. I'm looking here. Warren Buffett credits Graham and Dodd for being sort of the foundational aspects of how he became an investor. And I think that's cool, but but they wrote their book in 1934, which, on one hand, there's certainly relevance there because it's sort of straightforward, very conservative sort of ideas. But on the other hand, it's kind of like, it was 1934. That's a long time ago. There have been more books written, maybe better books. And then also, it was right in the middle of the Great Depression. So I think that does create a little bit of a bias in terms of the perspective, like the way people talk about investing now, that we've had such a big boom, in the markets. The way people talk about investing now is going to be different from the way they talk about it during a long-term downturn. So that it is what it is. Let's see, the downside of write-offs or deductibles is that it makes it hard to get loans. Banks want to see profits. Yeah, that's true. You're right about that. So I guess the question is, do you get the deductions and put the money in your pocket, or do you give up the money in your pocket so you can go borrow money that's really, that belongs in somebody else's pocket? I'd rather get the money in the hand than the money in the bush. So maybe you can get the write-offs and the profits. At least with the write-offs, you can write off as much as possible, and then profits kind of reflect the fact that you've written off everything you can, and you just made so much money that you now have to pay taxes. That's pretty cool. That's a crazy advantage to have in a country. And I'm gonna tell you, that's actually one of the worst things about America. Rich people don't pay enough in taxes. It's gonna screw up the country long term because we'll never be able to repay our debt. And the reason we can't repay our national debt is because wealthy people don't pay their fair share. So on that regard, the liberals are absolutely correct. They're absolutely correct about that. Problem is, when we've had surpluses, when we had plenty of money, they wasted it. So it's kind of like, well, what gives? I don't know. Ladio says, so my understanding is that you can purchase money with gold in the paper. Is that Karatbars? If that's the case, then that's cool. That's interesting. Okay. Nothing else to say about that. Kaylee, what are your thoughts on wholesaling in real estate? I think real estate is awesome. Just make sure that when you jump in, make sure you get somebody to show you around. A couple of people I know that are really good at real estate that I think you may want to look at is one, Andre C. Hatchett teaches at theblackrealestateschool.com, THE, theblackrealestateschool.com. He's got a bunch of real estate experts. All they talk about is real estate, real estate, real estate. Two, Danielle Pierce teaches at economicelevation.com. Economicelevation.com is her platform where she teaches everything from tax liens to foreclosures to all kinds of stuff. So, and Danielle's just really cool. So if you like, a really cool black lady, then go see Danielle. If you like a really cool brother that believes in black people, go see Andre Hatchett. Those are two great people. And also Jay Morrison teaches real estate as well. Very smart guy too. Tommy Reed, Dr. King Boyce. What if you're still working on the source of passive income for you as you know it, still takes time and you don't get the overnight success? Would you recommend for a brother to just finally give up? No, find ways to make more money. Find ways to make more money. Danielle Pierce, who has the platform economicelevation.com, she did a video, and it's actually on drboycetv.com, and she talks about easy ways to make an extra $1,000 a month. If you can't go make your millions right away, don't make your millions. Start by making your thousands. And if you can't make your thousands, start by making your hundreds. You will be flabbergasted by all the different ways that, that just making like an extra $500 a month or an extra $1,000 a month can really change your life. You'd be floored. You'd be blown away by, just that extra $500 a month can just, make a huge difference, because now you got 2 or 3 bills you don't have to pay. That's $500 a month that you can put aside and invest. And you guys don't know this, but let me look this up. I get excited when I start doing this, so forgive me if I start acting like a little kid. Let me see here. Future value of annuity calculator. If you want to know how to calculate these things, you can actually go to, feel free to check out my stock market investing class, theblackstockmarketprogram.com. The first month is free. In that program, I actually show you guys how to calculate how much money you'll have if you invest a certain amount over a certain amount of time. It's called future value of an annuity. So if you were to have, let's say that you couldn't make an extra, let's say you just, like you're not, your money game ain't where you wanted it to be. You're not making a whole lot of money right away like you thought. So, but you do find a way to do a little something extra. Maybe drive Uber part time, right? Or maybe have a little business that leaks out, $100 a week or something like that in profit. So imagine that you were able to take, let's say you were able to find a way to get $500 a month extra to invest. And let's say that the stock market, continues on the same trajectory that it's been on for the last 20, 30 years, and you make about 10% return on your stock investments. Is this the card you learned today? Mm-hmm. You want to come over here and say hi? Everybody, this is Taylor, and Taylor is our little student in the house, and she is, you guys can see Taylor over here. There she is. Say hi, Tay. Hi. All right, and Taylor is 8, and Taylor just, she wanted to show me that this was a term that she learned today on her financial flashcards. We work on those every day. And so what did you learn today?
Consumer.
And what is a consumer, Tay?
It's someone who buys goods and services.
Very good, very good. And do you know by chance what the opposite of a consumer is?
Producer.
Yes, and what does a producer do?
They are actually both producer and consumer because they need something to buy the items from. Mm-hmm. But also, they're the one who is selling the items, the goods or services.
Nice, good job. Good job. Please give Taylor a digital round of applause and say, good job, Taylor. Good job, Taylor. So Taylor, what we work on is we work on all different kinds of flashcards. We have financial flashcards for kids that teach finance, entrepreneurship, stuff like that. There's also, we're eventually going to get around to these. These are the melanated minds flashcards. This is how you learn Black history. And this has, all the Black history heroes that you won't learn about in school. We created these on our own. Oh yeah, wait. Oh, you saw the one that she put me on one of them. Yeah, I was on one of them. I know, right? Look at the cartoon picture that the people that put the cards together. They put me on as one of the melanated minds, but I'm one of the least of the important people. I'm not as important as the people in here, but there are lots of important Black people here, and this is what you have to do. I believe that in your house has to become a university, where you have, casual, intelligent conversations. You incentivize your kids to have businesses. You teach them about money. And one day Taylor is going to probably have a business or something, right? Is that what you want to do?
Oh, yes. And also in technology, I'm learning how to code and program.
Really? Good for you. Very proud of you. All right. Thank you. Okay. So it's not easy. It's not always easy to get the kids to want to dig into this stuff. Is sometimes it can be like pulling teeth. But what I encourage you to do is, look for the things that they want and sort of connect the education of your child to, to the things that they say they want. So for example, Nicole, Taylor's older sister, she wants a trampoline really bad. And so what I've told her is, well, financially literate kids get trampolines because that means one day you get older, you'll be able to afford one, right? And so the understanding is you show me what I need to hear, and then maybe we could talk about getting that trampoline. So find what it is that will motivate your child. You may even have to do it old school. Just be like, here, every card you learn, I'll give you $5. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because that's the way the world works. Smart people make money. Dumb people, I don't say dumb people, untrained people make less money or they make no money at all, right? So you want your children to be trained. And so what better time to teach them those lessons than to teach them when they're in your house? So if you want to look at our financial flashcards, feel free to go to financialflashcards.com. That's financialflashcards.com. We also have financial workbooks and all kinds of stuff. So feel free to go browse around the store because there's a lot of good stuff in there. You can buy all kinds of stuff for your family. We try to give you all the tools to implement everything that we talk about and everything that we teach. We don't just tell you to go out there and do it. We give you everything that you need to get it done. All right, so let's see here. Look out now, she's the next Jerry Jones. Yeah, well, kids have different personalities, and Taylor's big thing, honestly, she's more of a creative person. She loves to dance, she loves to sing, she loves to perform. So when I said, you want to come and say hi on camera, she eats that up, right? Whereas her sister is very shy. Like her sister, if I'd said, you want to come on camera, she'd been like, no. right? Usually her sister kind of backs away from that. So, kids' personalities are different, but you got to sort of figure out how to angle the importance of Blackness and ownership with your child. So, for example, Taylor's the youngest, and since she's artsy, she loves anything that's creative. Like I can almost predict what she's going to be interested in because she loves anything that involves singing, dancing, performing, things like that. So that leads to conversations about the entertainment industry and how you could actually be a more successful entertainer if you understand business, because you don't just know how to get on the stage, you know how to actually finance the stage, you know how to build the stage, you know how to produce the stage, you know how to create your own opportunities, right? Instead of being like these really talented people I see in Hollywood who have to wait in line all day just to get one audition, right? Now her older sister is more, her mind is more centered where she's probably going to be a doctor, a lawyer, a mathematician, or an accountant. Like her brain is very logical, very, I don't know if it's, I guess it's a left brain. And so with her, it's more a matter of helping her understand the common sense aspect of financial intelligence, which will be easy to explain. Now, the oldest, he's into science. He wants to be an engineer. So what I did with him was I introduced him to Elon Musk, and we talked. Well, I didn't introduce. He knew about Elon Musk. These are not my biological kids, by the way. I have one biological daughter. But Elon Musk, we talk about Elon Musk, and I talk about it from an angle of sort of saying, there are a lot of engineers that are as smart as Elon Musk. There are a lot of engineers out here that can sit in front of a computer and just throw down. Elon Musk could have easily been some guy working at Microsoft making a couple $100,000 a year because he's the best programmer in the group. But Elon Musk has that extra angle to him that has led him to become a multi-billionaire. And so so for example, so with the oldest, he's in a special school. It's a boarding school, but it's a technical school. And the co-founder of YouTube went to that same school. And so what I've told him is I said, look, you've got friends in your class that you can network with who are going to co-found multi-billion-dollar companies. So maintaining relationships is very important. Becoming part of the startup culture is very, very important. Also, he loves cars. So when I see him admiring $200,000 cars, I say, hey man, well, you do know that regular people with regular jobs can't afford $200,000 cars. You can't buy a $200,000 car if you're making $80,000 a year. So that's my angle with him, to lead him to make the conclusion that, oh, I better own my own business. I don't tell them that that's what they should do. They watch what I do, and then they overhear me talking about it. And kids tend to watch, and they tend to start imitating what they're seeing around them. So be conscious of what you're teaching your kids, because every day you are the number one teacher in their life. No question about it. All right, so let me see here. Put your questions in the Q&A section, guys, who are in the webinar. Put them in the Q&A section because I can't see everything in the chat. Because Jamin, I see a question about what is your opinion on using a portion of your 401k to buy land and use it as collateral to get a loan mortgage to pay a builder to build the dwelling? Okay, that's a long question. That's a lot. You really wrote a lot. So I'll answer the first part of that question. I'm not opposed to using a part of your 401k to make investments. I think it's sort of like you got one life to live and you got one shot at this. And so so that one shot at freedom might mean taking a chance with the 401k. That's what I did. I'd be a hypocrite if I told you not to touch it. I took it. I paid that damn 10% penalty, and I don't regret a damn thing. Now things might have gone bad, but if they gone bad, then oh well. So what? If it went bad, then at least I tried, man. I'm not gonna die not trying for my dream. I mean, what are you saving yourself for? You're going to die. You're going to get old and die anyway. So, I'm not telling you to just throw caution to the wind, but I'm trying to say, a lot of times fear will have you live in somebody else's life. Don't do it. You won't be happy on your deathbed. Old people, when they ask old people, I pay attention to the elders. When they ask and they survey old people, don't talk about white, Black, Asian, doesn't matter what race you are. I love to just read anything that where old people are reflecting, like on things they wish they'd done, because I like to learn about life that way. And one thing that I remember they said is that when you get older, you don't regret the things that you did. You regret the things you did not do. Or whether it's investing in work and all that, or if it's love, like if you love the wrong person and you married to the wrong person for 20 something years, 30 years, you regret that. And you be thinking about the person that you wish you had loved and you never loved them because you never took a chance. So in your life, I encourage you, find the thing that matters to you and don't be scared to take a chance. Should I take a coding boot camp at UCLA and pay $11,000? I'm not a fan of that versus going to Udemy and paying $12 per. You know what? I'm a big fan of Udemy. I have 300 Udemy classes on my computer. I just can't get through them all because I don't have the time. But if I was like 18 and knowing what I know now, like if I were my own dad and I could go back and there was an 18-year-old version of Boyce who was like all, young and gung-ho and ready to go out and conquer the world, I would probably tell them, like, look, if you're trying to do the entrepreneurship thing or the internet thing or the computer thing, anything involving computers and technology, the key goal is you just got to have the skill. So find out what the college kids are learning and then go learn that. The thing is that when you're getting self-education, you're learning exactly what you need. You're learning exactly at your pace. You're not distracted by all the nonsense that happens at college. About 70% of everything that happens at college has nothing to do with academics. Nothing. And you're paying $60,000 a year. You're giving away your family's economic future for that. You won't say, think about this. You go to college, you spend $200,000, $300,000, $250,000, sometimes as much as $300K. At what point in your life are you ever expecting to save $300,000 or $250,000? You're not. Most people can never raise that kind of money. Most people can't even get $2,000 for an emergency, for a financial emergency, but they'll let you borrow $250,000 to get a college degree. And then you're just stuck in debt for the rest of your life. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not saying don't go to college. I'm just saying be careful. Go to a state school. What's up, Tiara? How you doing? Let me see here. Please, Dr. Watkins, I have my kids listening right now. Please watch the cursing. Sorry, Darren. No can do, man. I'll do my best. I didn't even know that I cussed. I thought I was being clean. I didn't know I'd been a potty mouth. I didn't even think about it. But sorry, I cussed in front of my kids and my daddy cussed in front of me. So just chalk it up to the fact that I'm a heathen. My apologies for that. But I will try my best out of respect for Darren and his children. Let's see here. Cohen says, not talking about imaginary cash flow. So it looks like that's a follow-up to another statement. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Derek Williams, what are your thoughts on sibling co-founders David and Tom Gardner of the Motley Fool? I don't know those guys. I don't know who they are. So I wish I could tell you more, but I think sibling co-founders is a great idea though. I think working with your siblings is really good if you have good siblings. If you have bad siblings, don't do it. But if you have good siblings that are responsible people and they don't go outside the margin of error, and they understand the code of conduct, then I think working with family is a dream come true. You see, here's the thing. In order for you to have a strong family business, you must have a code of conduct. I was coaching my goddaughter on this the other day, and I told her, I said, because you're going to be a mom, I said, one day you're going to be a mother and a grandmother and all these other things. So you get to shape the culture in your household. You get to shape how that little economy, that economy of love works. And you could turn that economy of love into an economy of actual money, but people have to maintain a code of conduct. So that means that people have to understand in their family that, look, if you borrow money from a relative, for example, you pay that stuff back. You pay that, I was going to say pay that shit back there, but I didn't say shit because I know your kids, but I just said it, didn't I? I'm such a terrible person. And what's even worse is I knew that was happening. I was just making a bad joke and I'm really feeling bad right now and I apologize. So out of respect for Darren, I'm not going to say another cuss word for the rest of the night. But here's the thing. If you borrow money from a relative, you pay it back. And if you don't pay it back, if you disrespect your loved one and put them in the awkward position of forcing them to have to ask you for the money back, or forcing them or making them feel bad because they're asking you for something that belongs to them, then then the circle will close without you. You need to be booted out of the family economy because you're not maintaining the code of conduct. You see, the best way to really compare it is like having a family business. It's a lot like being on the same basketball team. If every time I pass you the ball, you throw it out of bounds or you do something dumb with it, then I can't trust you. We're not a good unit because we're not on the same page. We're not on the same team. And so I think that, that's where I've seen it gone really bad. That's why I've seen relationships get destroyed over money, is because one person doesn't uphold their end of the bargain. But I'll tell you what, I've worked with my brother. My brother has been the only person who has worked with me consistently from the time that I started my business, which was about I think I made the decision to go on my own about 2004. So I guess it's been about 15 years. He's the only one that consistently works with me. We talk every single day, and it's been amazing because we both get the code of conduct. I ride for him. I come through for him. He comes through for me. Sometimes I cover for him. Sometimes he covers for me. You know, we've had to forgive each other too for mistakes that we made, but you don't want somebody in your family that you're doing business with where you constantly have to forgive and they're constantly letting you down. That's very difficult to maintain because a business is a delicate infrastructure where everybody has to carry their weight. Just like the LA Lakers trying to win a basketball game. You need every player to be on point. And if they're not on point, you got to put them on the bench. So some of your family members can be in the game. Some of your family members have to be on the bench. But a lot of you who have children, this is your opportunity to shape the code of conduct in your family. So I told my goddaughter, I said, you tell your kids, what the rules are. You never betray family. You never let your family members down if you can help it. If you ever have to borrow money from a relative, you pay that back the way you're supposed to. And if you can't, you work it out and you always show respect. You never do anything that's going to put your loved ones in harm's way. And I think that if you do that, I think you can have like a really great family economy. Working with siblings can be amazing if you have good siblings. So let me see here. Fear tried to stop success, Dr. King voice. Okay, I don't know what that means exactly, but I'm going to take your word for it, Tommy Reed. I agree. Fear is bad. How about that? We both agree on that. Adam Epps. Powerful people always find a way to build off of someone's fear and ignorance all day, every day. Powerful people always find a way to build off someone's fear and ignorance. Well, that's true. Yeah, absolutely. Skya, what happens to Nipsey Hussle's cryptocurrency that he purchased if he bought anyway? That's a good one. That's a really good one because a lot of times when you buy cryptocurrency, you have these accounts that only you can get into because I know with mine, my goodness, that made me think about. Thank you for that question because I thought about that. If I die tomorrow, I really am going to actually modify my will. I'm going to send my brother a note right now to let him know where my crypto is and how much I have because you're 100% correct. If you have crypto and you haven't put it in your will and information in your will, that is to not just that you own it, but how to obtain it, what the passwords are and all that, then that money disappears. It goes to whoever eventually claims it and nobody will know. And that's the thing about death. When you don't plan for death, a lot of everything that you own goes into the hands of whoever finds it first because people don't really think about the dead guy that much in terms of his stuff and what he had going on. Think about how many things in your life you have going on right now, whether it's, business deals that are in the works, maybe secrets that you've never told anybody, maybe somebody that you're having sex with that only you and that other person know what's going on, maybe, some money in your different accounts where you're the only person who knows the password. Think about all those things and imagine if you were just dead, what would happen to those things? They would just sit there and eventually maybe a year or two later, the bank or somebody would be like, okay, this account's unclaimed, so we're going to take this money. I'd be willing to bet you that, hundreds of millions of dollars a year just gets eaten up or claimed by some entity, some institution, because it's not claimed out of people's bank accounts. So if you don't have a will, make sure you have a will. Make sure it's updated. I would update my will maybe once a year, once every 2 years, something like that. And, because you want to make sure your arrangements are in order, because once you're dead, you won't be able to talk. You won't be able to come back and fix anything. You'll be gone. And death doesn't care about your schedule. Let's see here. I never loan money. I no longer loan money anymore. I agree. I think I'm not going to say that's like the rule that you want to follow for sure, but I'm very much against it. I had somebody ask me for money again. Somebody asked me for money about once a week, at least maybe 3-4 times a week. And I just said, I don't want to loan you money. I can't. It's not fun for me because it kind of stinks when you're the person who did something good for somebody, but yet you end up being the bad guy because you simply asked them to do what they said that they were going to do. And you end up being penalized because you lose your relationship with that person because they don't understand and they're so mad at you because you were like, I need my money back. When you're going to pay my money? And then next thing you know, they're pissed off at you and you're like, wait a minute, but I helped you. Like I was the one who loaned you money when nobody else would. So I'm going to suggest when you start making money, keep it to yourself. Don't let people who are broke know how much money you have, because they're going to want to borrow it. Also know that when you become financially secure, you become very attractive for I don't want to say parasites. I don't want to call people parasites, but there's a parasitic energy that occurs where people naturally, we gravitate naturally toward the resources we need. So if I'm hungry and you got food, I'm going to go down to the place that has the food because I'm hungry, right? So the person who so what makes it hard in our families is that we don't have a lot of people that are financially secure, because one, we don't have a lot of family wealth, but then two, we don't have a lot of economic education. We don't value that as much as we should. So so even those who get wealth, you look at all the people on these reality TV shows and all that, they get the money, they love to flaunt it and spend it up and all that. So when you are the person who didn't do any of that, you saved your little nickels, you were very smart with your decision making, you kept your credit good, well, that makes other people feel that they can come to you when they have credit problems. Like, I really want to get this car, but because my credit's jacked up, I know, I'm going to ask you to be a co-signer because you have a perfect credit score, and so it should be easy for you. Well, no, you shouldn't do that. My father used to actually cuss people out because they would ask to use his credit, because he was like, well, if you didn't take care of your own credit, what makes you think, well, why should I think you're going to take care of mine? You didn't care about yourself enough to protect your own credit. So I know you're not going to take care of mine. And it's inevitable. I don't know of a single person. Tell me if you know what I'm talking about. I don't know of a single person who's ever co-signed for another person and it ended up well. Nine times out of 10, it ends up bad. Why? Well, because that person has what I call FIV. In my book, Financial Lovemaking, I refer to as FIV, and that's the financial irresponsibility virus. And they are infected, and they're not cured, but they don't even know that they're infected. They think that that their financial situation is due to bad luck, when really it's due to consistently bad habits and consistently bad choices. All right. So in fact, some people are so bad that you can write them a check for $20,000 and give them a year, they'll be broke again. There's no amount of money you could give them that will make them consistently financially secure, because they have a mindset that leads to economic drain. So if you give them more money, they're just going to spend more money and waste more money, and then they'll end up right back where they started. So anyway, just a reminder, you guys can actually get, thank you, Stacy Doe, for the donation. I appreciate that very much, and I love you for that, sister. So thank you for supporting the platform. We really appreciate that very much. For those of you that want to take advantage of the 24-hour discount on Black Money 101, our introductory program, the Introduction to the Power of Money, it's a 24-hour sale for 70% off. You guys get early admission because you're here tonight. We're actually going to make the announcement at midnight. But if you want to go and jump in now, we're only going to let 100 people take advantage of the offer. You can go to blackmoney101.com. That's blackmoney101.com. The discount code, you can write it in. It's 70 off podcast. It's one word. It's all one word, right? 70 off podcast, all claps, just one word, not three separate words. So the number 70 OFF podcast. So if you go to blackmoney101.com, you use that code, you can get the 70% off discount. That's your cost now and forever. When you're done with the program, you can get a certificate from the Black Business School, and it really covers a lot of really good stuff. It's a very powerful program, and I think you're going to like it. Okay, so one thing I mentioned earlier was we were talking about, how you the goal is to figure out a way to make some extra money. And if you can't make your thousands, then go ahead and make, if you can't make your millions, go ahead and make your thousands. If you can't make your thousands, then go ahead and make your hundreds. And there's a lot of ways to make a little bit of extra money. Danielle Pierce at economicelevation.com literally has a list of, I forgot how many different ways to make an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month. But I used an example earlier where I said an extra $500 a month even can make a huge difference in the budgets of a lot of people. At the very least, it gives you $500 that you have available to make investments with. Well, what happens if a person gets an extra $500? That's $500 is about the amount that people spend monthly on a new car. Did you know that? New car notes, the average new car note in America is a little over $500 a month. Black people buy more new cars than everyone else, which is one of the reasons why Black people donate hundreds of billions of dollars to the economy. We donate money right to white supremacy. We send that money right away out of our own pockets because we love new cars, and new cars cost the most. They depreciate by 20% within the first couple of months or something like that, and they start dropping in value the minute you drive them off the lot. You know the whole story. So let's say that you made an extra $500 a month, and instead of buying a new car and letting your money erode, you say, you know, I'm going to listen to this crazy man, Boyce Watkins, and I'm going to go ahead and invest this money in the stock market. So imagine if the market continues to grow at the rate that it's growing, about 10%, right? That's about, you know, maybe give or take a percentage or two, but let's say about 10% a year on average, and you invest consistently every month with that $500, and you do that for 20 years. So you say to yourself, in the next generation, my family won't be broke. We might be broke now, but we won't be broke later. What would happen? Well, let me show you. What I do is there's a what's called a future value of an annuity factor. It's a table you can use that allows you to see how much money you'd have if your money grows at a certain rate. So look here. So let's say you put in $500, you did it for 20 years, and you got 10% per year on average. Look at how much money you'd have. In 20 years, you'd have $382,848. The amount that you put in, though, is only $120K. This 262 at the bottom, which is more than double the amount of your original investment, is the amount that you get in terms of free money. That is what you get in terms of interest on top of interest. And so that's pretty amazing. Hey, babe.
Just saying hi.
Oh, hey, sweetie. We're talking about how money grows over a certain period of time if you make your investments consistently. Where rich people come from. That's what I was going through with them. Did you know, I'm sure I've told you weird things like this because I'm nerdy like that. Did you know that if a person, let's say they did this 20 years ago, if they were to invest $500 a month in the stock market, and they did it consistently like clockwork, and they did it for 20 years, and the market grew by an average of 10%, their portfolio did, they would have $382,000 right now. 120K is the amount they put in. 262 is free money, unearned income that they receive just by being an investor. That means no hours at the factory, no labor put in, just patience and intelligence, just having basic skill to be an investor. And do you know a monkey could literally make that money? I'm talking to her, but I'm talking to you guys too. A monkey literally could make that same amount of money because there's a book called A Random Walk Down Wall Street where Burt Malkiel in 1971 allowed a group of monkeys to invest, and he taught them to invest by throwing darts at a wall. And basically the monkeys, by picking the stock with the darts, they were able to earn as much money as the leading experts. So this does not mean this result that I just showed you. It doesn't come from, you know, some sort of financial magic. It doesn't come from people having MBAs. It doesn't come from them attending Harvard Business School. It comes from them participating in the freaking economy. It comes from participating in the stock market. You know, it's hard to believe, but you know, I preach it like the gospel because all your wealth is right in front of you. It's right in front of you. All you got to do is have planning. You got to plan. You know, like gentrification was the result of a plan. Somebody planned 30 years ago to take over your neighborhood, and they were disciplined in their plan. And so if you're disciplined, if you make a plan and you're disciplined in it, then your family will be better off in 20, 30 years than it is now. Now, let's say that a person did that for 30 years, like I'm doing with my niece. My brother and I got together. We made an agreement that we're going to put together a nice trust fund that the whole family is going to contribute to make sure our niece is good. She's going to be a millionaire by the age of 30. If the economy stays like it's been for the last 50 years, my niece will be a millionaire by the age of 30. Because if we did just $500 a month and did that for 30 years, and the interest rate was the same as it's been consistently for the last 50 years, or the growth rate in the stock market, then she would have $1.1 million. 180,000 would come from our contributions. 959,000 comes from unearned free money that comes from just allowing your money to grow. So what you must understand, the most important thing to understand about money when it comes to training yourself to have an investor mentality, is you must understand what money is. Most people lose money and don't have money because they don't even know what the hell money is. They think of money as something you use to buy stuff with. Money is not that. Money is a seed. Money is capital. Money's supposed to be, a seed should be planted so it grows into something else. You know, so my niece will be a millionaire. Don't tell her, because we're not going to tell her about the money. That's another thing with your kids. If you invest long term for your kids, do not let them control that money until you are ready, and don't even tell them about the money. Maybe you can say, yeah, we got a little something for you, but we ain't going to tell you about it because we don't want you to be lazy. Make sure that they also get the training to handle that money. You see, when you hand that money over to that child when they're 25, 30 years old, first of all, they're young and immature, and they're tempted to do silly things. That's why you need a trust to protect them from themselves so they don't end up wasting all their money. But then number two, you're handing them a high-powered sports car. Like you're handing them a really high-powered car. You're handing them almost $1 million in liquid assets, like cash money, right? So in order for me to give you a powerful sports car, you got to show me you know how to drive. So my requirement for my niece, as I actually have stated in my will, is she will not touch any of the money I put aside for her until she is adequately trained on economic intelligence, financial literacy, and how to make good investment decisions. And even then, she won't get all the money at once. She won't get it all at once, but what she'll have, you know what she'll have? She'll have a portable bank in the form of a trust fund, which means that whoever is managing that trust, which will probably be my brother, her dad, she can go to dad and say, Dad, I have a great idea for a business. I'd like to borrow $20,000 from the bank to be able to invest in my business. And dad will say, sure, show me the business plan. Here, I'll write a check, pay yourself back so the money can keep growing so that you will have that endowment. You see, what you've got to do is stop thinking about retirement as something that you do when you're old and gray and almost dead. Actually, if you plan for your children right now and you give your children as much economic attention as you give a new car, or you give fast food, or you give shopping at the mall, then you can actually help your child retire by the age of 25. Not to the point where they're not working, not to the point where they're sitting at home watching Jeopardy all day. No, I'm talking about retirement, meaning this. Retirement basically means two things. Retirement means, one, you don't have to go to work every day in order to earn money, and two, you're doing what you want. Thank you, babe. Love you. You're doing what you want to do. You're not doing what somebody else wants you to do. You're not on their agenda. You're on your agenda. That's all retirement is. It means not having to go to work every day, and the bill's still getting paid, and you're doing what you want to do. So I believe Black kids should be able to retire at 25. Retirement means getting out of the damn system. Get out of the system. And it's up to you to decide if you want them to get there or not. I mean, you got to make the decision. I can't do it for you. I can only guide the way. I can take you to the water. I hope you'll drink it. If you don't, I hope you drink something good. Don't be out like these other people out here drinking Cavassier. Seriously, because that's what we get financially drunk. And we have a tremendous amount of financial immaturity, which leads to huge financial mistakes, which leads to a lot of broke people, a lot of struggling people. So anyway, that's it. All right. So let me see here. Okay. So, hey, Doc, thank you for your information. Been listening to you since 2014. Started my business because of you, says Landon Brown. Thank you, Landon. Tell me, mention the name of your business. I'll shout out your business if I see it. And if in general, if you mention a business you started maybe because of me or something, also mention the name of the business. Just generally speaking, businesses grow when you market them heavily. So market your butt off. Don't be scared to tell me what your business is. I want to know, and I need everybody else to know so that we can support you and all that good stuff if the shoe fits. Let me see. Is getting a financial advisor a good idea? I think it is, because when you start getting into complex financial instruments like putting together a trust or an estate plan, I think a financial advisor is a good move. I think also financial advisors can help you get set up with IRAs, 401ks, stuff like that, if you don't have a job that does it for you. Did you ever reach over 100 people? I'm getting error 503, service temporarily unavailable. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you mean. Oh, you're getting on blackmoney101.com, you're getting a 503 error. Well, people have signed up. I'm looking here, but I don't know. I hope there's not an error. If there is an error, just let us know. Email assistant@voicewatkins.com if you have any problems, or support@theblackbusinessschool.com. That's better to email. Email support@theblackbusinessschool.com, and they'll get you in. And even if something goes wrong and it's after the sale is over, they can still let you in. You just tell them you were here and something went wrong. But I don't think that there's an error right now. So if somebody else wants to try and confirm, please let me know, because I've typed it in and I see the site just fine. So yeah, feel free to take a look at that. It's a great program. It's one of the best things we were able to put together for you guys. And I know what I'm doing. I've been teaching college students for 20 something years. So this is like second nature to me. And I'm very passionate about teaching economics to Black people. Let's see here. DB, you spoke on how to get quick hundreds, thousands, etc., but didn't elaborate how to do it. Yeah, well, there's a lot of different ways, but one thing I did mention is I've seen a lot of people make extra money as Uber drivers. And then also, there are little businesses that you can start. Danielle Pierce at Economic Elevation actually has a little ebook she has on literally, I think she lists 99 ways to make an extra $2,000 a month or something. So if you go to economicelevation.com, you can take a look. Tommy says, I like 105 real estate, another great course. Dr. King was, thank you. Yeah, we have a whole Black Money sequence in the Black Business School, and you can get a certificate for every part of the sequence. And I want, and these are, you know, when we grant you that certificate, like, it does mean something. You know, what we're trying to do is we're not trying to fit into someone else's system. We're trying to create systems. I believe the solution for Black people is creating systems, not joining systems, because these systems are racist, they're laced with white supremacy, and they're not beneficial to us. So anyway, with the Black Business School, with our program, with Black Money 101 through 106, it's a pretty amazing sequence. We have Black Money 101, which is an introduction to the power of money. 102 is how to invest in the stock market. 103, and you can literally look at these by going to blackmoney102.com, blackmoney103.com, 104, etc. Blackmoney103.com is how to start your own business. Blackmoney104.com is how to buy a franchise. Franchising, business in a box. Love franchising. Oh my God. Yeah. In fact, that's something I want to get around to when I get time. I want to get some franchises. I just haven't had the time to dig into it, but I've been literally eating up this idea in my head for the longest time. Black Money 105 is the Black real estate program. Black Money 106 is business systems and processes. The reason that in every program has a reason for existence. 106 systems and processes came from the fact that I realized that a lot of our people, we start businesses and they become one woman, one man shops. And that means that we haven't learned how to set up systems and procedures so that you can delegate things. You see, because you can't do it all by yourself. You might be a hard worker, you may be a great laborer, but if you're not careful, you're going to end up working yourself into the ground, and that's not going to make you successful. So basically, the business systems program was put in place in order to show you sort of ways to create systems and processes that'll help you become successful. Now, I see someone says the code's not invalid. Did you use the code 70 off podcast? One word, the number 70 OFFPODCAST. Use that. That's on one word, not 3 words though, not 3 words. And what I'm gonna try to do is see if I can actually just find a direct link, and I'll put the direct link in here so you can actually, so you won't even have to enter the code if I give you the direct link. So let me see what I got here. All right. So let's see. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. So I'm going to cut and paste this link. I'm going to put it in the chat so everybody can see it. So you guys are in Zoom, should be able to see it in your chat right now. You guys that are watching over here, there it is for you guys. Hopefully it'll go through. There we go. All right. And give me 1 second. Let me see what we got here. I got this computer and I don't think it has enough RAM. Sometimes I'll click on stuff and nothing happens. It drives me crazy. Okay. Well, I'll answer your question while I wait for this thing to come up. I just opened up brokerage accounts with Vanguard and only $20 a year for ETF trading. Yeah. I mean, I think that those investment accounts are fine. You know, I'm gonna tell you, I just think the key idea really is just become an investor. Like, it doesn't even matter if you're a bad one. I mean, you know, don't take any crazy risks. Just follow the basic rules. You know, diversify your money and don't buy and sell like crazy. Just, you know, buy and hold for a while, you know, and have a broad portfolio. Don't just buy 1 or 2 things. And even a bad investor is somebody that is going to do better than a person who doesn't invest at all. You guys, it's right there. You guys should see the code. I just popped it in there. You know, that's the thing. You know, it's sometimes it's a little bit tough. You know, like I really wish, I feel sorry for Black people who tell other Black people not to invest, because I think when they tell you to do that, they're pretty much telling you to be poor. You know, and I don't think that that's good. Am I a certified financial advisor as well? No, I teach financial advisors. So a PhD is very, very hard to get. It's like the difference between knowing how to drive a car and maybe change the oil versus knowing how to design the car and put the engine in the car and everything else. I mean, those are just different levels of understanding. So a lot of people who might go on and become investment advisors will be the kinds of people that I would have taught at Syracuse or something like that. So it's a whole nother level. It's like being a financial surgeon in a way. Let's see here. When are you coming to Chicago? I live not far from Chicago, and I will be doing some stuff in Chicago. We're going to do some pop-up Black Business School events in the near future. So if you guys want to come out, feel free. There'll be sort of one day where we just all get together in a room, and it might be, teaching you how to invest, or it might be something on starting your own business or something like that. So I'll let you guys know when we put that together. Where's the other chat room they spoke about besides YouTube? Well, there's some people that can see me on Facebook, so that might be it. Let me see here. There we go. Okay, so you guys have the link in there. So feel free to use that link. That's a direct link. That'll take you directly to the page where you don't even have to enter the discount code anymore. The 70% off discount will be right there on the page on Black Money 101, excuse me. And some of the other classes in Black Money 101 and some of the other lectures. There's just a ton of stuff in here. How to start your own business, how to protect your business brand, how to create a winning business plan, social media use in business. Let's see here, how to make money as a writer or a blogger. Let's see, Dr. Claude Anderson has some content he's added in here. There's a lecture on what I call the $500,000 Happy Meal, which is basically how you take the amount of money that you would spend on a Happy Meal and invest it consistently. And you can actually have $500,000 after a certain amount of time. Let's see here, I'm looking at, there's some Q&A sessions. Surefire ways to avoid overspending, the secrets to obtaining financial security. Let's see here, a long lecture, very long lecture on why buying a new car is a horrible investment and all tangential issues, and an analysis of the wealth gaps in America. Let's see here, I'm looking here. I like to break down also things that happen in the world. Like, for example, there's a lottery winner who went broke, and I like to break down and explain exactly what happened and how you can avoid that kind of outcome. Why Warren Buffett does not trust cryptocurrency. Let's see, why are only 10 of the world's billionaires Black? How to create a Black economic and educational excellence package for your child's future. That's what I call a BEEP. That's a model I put together just for Black folks, BEEP, and it stands for Black Economic and Educational Excellence Plan, which basically is the pathway to helping your child retire by the age of 25. And when I say that, I'm not feeding you nonsense. This is mathematically proven that this is doable with simple steps that you can take right now. So let's see here. What suggestions do you have for a person starting to invest in the stock markets? Meaning platforms to start investing. The three I use are Stash, Acorns, and Robinhood. And then there's others out there. I like those three because you can do them on your phone. Stash, Acorns, and Robinhood. And let's see here. But does any investment earn 10%? That's not a typical percentage of return for many investments. That's a good question, Latios. Actually, if you look at the historical return on the S&P 500, the average return over, say, the last 40 years, it's about 10%. Actually, I think it's actually higher than that. So I think actually now the last few years, during the Trump administration, it's been much higher. During the Obama administration, I believe it was much higher. During the Bush administration, it was much higher. So really 10%, some would say that over that period of time, 10% was a discount. Monday, 4:15, I can begin my payment. Okay, says Mustafa. Well, the special lasts for 24 hours. So, I'll let you decide how you want to proceed with that. If you have any questions or any issues, there is a 30-day 100% money back guarantee, which universities don't offer that, but we do because we have faith in our programs. We know you're going to love them. You can just email support@theblackbusinessschool.com if you have an issue. What percentage should you invest in your 401k and in stocks? What percentage of your income? And that depends on how fast you want to grow. If you want to grow quickly, then you invest more. If you want to grow slowly, you invest less. I'm a big believer in investing heavy amounts. There are people that, there are actually cults of people that, that believe in investing as much as 50, 60% of their income and living on a really reduced budget so that they can be financially free a lot quicker. And I think that that's fine, but that's not for me because I'm not a guy that wants to pinch pennies. I don't want to get ahead because I didn't enjoy life. I'd rather just figure out ways to make extra money and then have moderation. I believe in moderation. Miss Britton, how many stocks did you say we should own to be diversified? The technical number historically, from what I remember in grad school, was about 22 different stocks on average will give you adequate diversification, about 22 or 23. But really, you may want to keep going 30, 40. It does, just keep going. Mutual funds actually are an easy way to have instant diversification, because mutual funds are nothing more than a collection of a bunch of stocks thrown in together as a pile. So you buy one share of the mutual fund. It's like soup, like Alicia made chicken noodle soup, right? And chicken noodle soup had peas in it and chicken and onions and, whatever she puts in there, carrots, all that stuff. So if you take one scoop of the soup, you're getting a little bit of everything. You see? So mutual funds the same way. A mutual fund is an economic soup. Basically, so when you buy a share, you're taking one scoop out of the soup. And when you get that one scoop, you're getting everything that's in the soup. Let's see. Adam Epps is Patreon the only platform where I can give you donations for the Black media platform? Yeah, I mean, Patreon is the only place which is what was it? What's the URL? Intelligentblackpeople.com. Intelligentblackpeople.com is where you can support the media platform. And we give you some. I don't like donations because I don't think that's an adequate business model. I don't think Black people should just be stuck begging for things. I think that we should do trade. So trade actually, occurs even with the Patreon account. We give our patrons lots of benefits that other people don't get. But if you want to go deeper or do something different, just go to theblackbusinessschool.com and sign up for a program or two. Maybe sign up for one of the bonus deluxe programs or something. Just whatever you want to do. I mean, because we're going to educate the heck out of you. And if you're not happy for any reason, we have a no questions asked money back guarantee policy. So we're very straight up with that. We don't want anybody feeling like they didn't get at least 5 or 10 times more than what they expected. And really, the way we share this with people is we say, look, if you come through one of our programs and you don't feel that you learn more from us than you learned in college, then get your money back. We'll charge you 1/100th of what your university charged you, and we'll give you 100 times more value, 100 times more powerful information and analysis and breakdowns and skill sets and all that stuff. Anybody who's been through a program, please feel free to make a comment so others will kind of know. We also have a Black Business School for Children, which I suggest you take a look at as you get your kids ready for the summer. That program is at blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. That's blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. So feel free to go take a look at that as well. It's a great way to make sure that this summer is a good investment for your child and not just a waste of time. What do you think about the wealth gap in ADOS? I talked about ADOS a little bit today. I don't want to go into it too much anymore just because, for me, it's very basic. I support, the idea of reparations because it's common sense to me. I think ADOS leadership, I'm hopeful that they will not be so quick to want to alienate everyone in terms of, saying if you're not from the US, we don't like you. If you're a Black person on TV, we don't like you. If you are Farrakhan, we don't like you. If you're Claude Anderson, we don't like you. And the thing is that they've kind of alienated all those people and attacked all those people. So it's very hard to unify when you're constantly on the attack. If you're going to constantly be on the attack, you got to attack white supremacy. You can't just whittle away at all the people that could be your allies. So I think that's the problem with that particular movement. Now, to the extent that, you want to talk about the concept of what it means to be ADOS, an American descendant of slaves, well, then that, says, you should naturally support that. There's some sort of unique analysis of how American descendants of slaves were affected by slavery and some sort of conversation about what it means to repair that community for what they've gone through. And it shouldn't be tied in and bundled in with a bunch of other crap. I'm sorry, I don't want my reparations as a descendant of slaves to be packaged in with a reparations package for gay people. Let them get their own package. I'm sure there's some gay Black people, absolutely, but most of us ain't gay. Most of us are Black. All of us are Black. Only a few of us are gay. So the gay Black people get the Black reparations, and maybe they can then go get gay reparations. I don't know, but I want that to be a separate conversation. I don't want Black social justice to be tied into everything else, because then it gets diluted and it gets lost in the fold. So I think that's the whole idea behind ADOS, and I think it's a great idea. In terms of the wealth gap, I used to have a real issue with the fact that white people had so much more money than Black people do. And then I realized that that was a distraction, and I did a video that really pissed people off, where the title of the video was that the Black wealth gap is an illusion. Now, clearly, I know that the wealth gap exists. I know that white people have more money than us. I'd be stupid. I'm a finance professor. My God, why wouldn't I know this? But the reason I called it an illusion, and I read the technical definition of what an illusion is. An illusion isn't necessarily something that is like a mirage or something that's not really there. An illusion is also a distraction, right? Something where you're led to believe something is something that is actually not. And so when I look at the black wealth gap, I see it as a mass distraction that causes us to fall into the illusion of believing that we are poor. You see, black people have less money than white people, but having less money than white people does not make you poor, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? Just because you have less money than white people does not make you poor. It makes you just like 99.9% of the rest of the earth who has less money than white American people. Everybody has less money than white people. So what I have said is, let's get out of the poverty mindset. Let's stop believing that we're poor. Let's stop believing that we have nothing to work with. Let's start believing that we have $1.3 trillion in spending power that we're giving away to white people. So before we start going out trying to collect $10 trillion in reparations, let's stop giving away the $1.3 trillion that we're donating to white supremacy every year. Let's stop the bleeding before we start trying to go back and collect old money that's owed to us, because it won't matter if we collect that old money if we keep bleeding it right out. That's been my argument, and I'm fine with that. Danielle Pierce, Economic Elevation website. Can you post a link? Yeah, it's economicelevation.com. That's economicelevation.com. Do you know about real estate investments like buying properties, fixing them, selling, and renting? No, but we have theblackrealestateprogram.com, or you can go to blackmoney105.com. It's the 5th course in our Black Money sequence. And also you have the blackrealestateschool.com, and you have economicelevation.com, where Danielle Pierce teaches about real estate. Tommy Reed, Dr. Boyce, fear tries to stop me from going forward to success. That's what I meant. It's not easy, especially when people don't think you become a businessman. It's hard on a brother. Yeah, it's hard, and fear is real. But and it's okay to feel the fear. It's okay to acknowledge the fear, but do not let the fear control you. The fear can be in the car, but don't you dare let the fear drive the car. Put it in the back seat, put it in the trunk. You drive that damn car. Fear is going to be in the fear will be in the trunk kicking. And the fear is going to be cussing. What are you doing? Turn left, turn right, stop it, slow down. You better go back. What's wrong? Right? Fear will be in your ear. Fear will be in the trunk. Fear will be making noise. Fear will be distracting you. But at the end of the day, you got to drive that damn car, and you need to drive that car with the fear. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's the motto. Every day I wake up with some sort of fear. Every day I wake up with fear. It's fear. I'm fearful of even admitting that. It's very weird to admit that. Every day I wake up with some kind of fear somewhere in my heart. And every day, though, I have methods and mechanisms that help me cope with that fear. They help me take that nervous energy and turn that into something positive, as opposed to allowing that nervous energy to stifle me or to turn into something negative. You see? So energy is energy. What are you going to do with your energy? Are you going to use it to destroy yourself, destroy your dreams, destroy your future, destroy your passion, destroy your ambition, destroy your focus? Or are you going to use that energy to make yourself more focused, more passionate, have a greater ability to rise to the occasion? Is that energy going to push you to be better than you were yesterday? What are you going to do with the energy? That's the question. Let's see, last question. This is the last one, then we're done. What is the easiest, low-cost, lucrative real estate investments? Houses, commercial, parking lots. Most lucrative. I've seen people getting into buying property and renting them with Airbnb, but I would get with somebody that knows what the heck they're doing before you do it. Like, don't just jump out there and try to do it without knowing what you're doing. Find somebody, pay them a little money to mentor you through the process, through your first purchase, and I think that kind of real estate could be beneficial. I've seen people get into the Airbnb game. A lot of money made in the Airbnb game, so that's one option that you may want to consider. All right, so. Last but not least, if you guys want to join Black Money 101 at a discount, you can go to blackmoney101.com. That's blackmoney101.com. The discount code, which is 70% off, and it's for 24 hours only, first 100 people. After that, we shut it down. You can go to blackmoney101.com and use the code. Somebody type it in. It's 70 off podcast. It's one word. 70, the number 70 off podcast. 70 off podcast and blackmoney101.com. That's the discount. Also, if you want to check out our financial workbooks for kids, you can go to financialworkbooks.com. That's financialworkbooks.com. It'll give your kids something great to do this summer. They're going to love being financially literate and financially intelligent. So I'm going to get out of here. And Ms. Britton says, good analogy of fear, Doc. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you gained from that, Ms. Britton, and thank you for hanging out with me. This was fun, and I'm gonna go and see what my woman wants. She's been at work all day, so I'm sure she wants to see me at some point. So take care, guys. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.